Let me tell you something most men your age have never been told. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand your own body better than your last three doctors put together. There is a single hormone quietly steering your energy, your strength, your mood, your sleep, even the way fat clings to your belly. And after 50, it starts slipping away faster than almost anything else in your body. The thing is, the way it leaves isn't random. It happens in a pattern, decade by decade, and once you can see that pattern, you can do something about it. So stay with me, because near the end, I'm going to share the one shift that matters more than everything else combined. And most men get it completely backwards. I'm going to walk you through this the way I'd explain it to a friend across the kitchen table. No fear, no hype, just what's actually happening under the hood. Let's start with the basics, because they matter. Testosterone is the hormone that more than any other makes a man feel like himself. It builds muscle, it keeps your bones dense, it sharpens your drive and your focus, it helps regulate your mood, and it plays a quiet role in keeping your heart and your blood sugar in good shape. Here's the part nobody mentions in your 30s. Starting somewhere around age 30, the average man's testosterone begins to decline by roughly 1 to 2% every single year. That sounds small. 1%? Who'd notice 1%? But compound that over 20, 30 years, and the difference between the man you were at 35 and the man you are at 55 can be enormous. It's not a cliff. It's a slow tide going out, and most men never see the water leaving until they're standing on dry sand wondering what happened. So let's go decade by decade, because the experience is different at each stage. In your 40s, the changes are subtle, and that's exactly why they're so easy to dismiss. You might notice your morning energy isn't quite what it used to be. You used to bounce out of bed. Now you need that second cup of coffee to feel human. Your workouts don't pay off the way they did. You lift the same weights, you put in the same effort, but the muscle just doesn't show up like it once did, and the recovery takes longer. You might notice a little softness around the middle that won't budge no matter how many sit-ups you do. And here's a big one that men rarely connect to hormones: your motivation. That fire, that get up and go, that appetite for a challenge. It can start to flatten out. Most guys in their 40s blame stress, blame work, blame age in a vague, hand-waving way. But underneath a lot of it is that slow hormonal tide going out. Then you hit your 50s, and this is usually where it stops being subtle and starts being obvious. This is the decade where men start to really feel it. Your sleep changes. You may wake up at 3 in the morning, mind racing, and that broken sleep makes everything worse, because here's a connection most people have no idea about. Your body does a huge amount of its testosterone production while you sleep, especially in deep sleep. So poor sleep lowers testosterone, and low testosterone worsens your sleep, and you're caught in a loop that feeds itself. In your 50s, you may notice your strength fading more clearly. There's a real phenomenon here called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass that accelerates with age, and lower testosterone is part of what drives it. You might notice your mood is flatter, that you're more irritable, more easily discouraged, that things that used to roll off your back now stick. Some men describe it as the color draining out of life a little. And of course, there's the physical side, the drop in drive and confidence in the bedroom, which can quietly chip away at how a man sees himself. I want to pause on something here because it's important and it's reassuring. Feeling this does not mean something is broken in you, and it does not mean this is simply your fate now. It means your body's chemistry has shifted, and chemistry can be supported. Hold that thought. By the time men reach their 60s, the effects of years of decline can start to stack up in ways that go beyond how you feel day to day. Bone density is a real concern. We think of brittle bones as a women's issue, but men lose bone too, and testosterone is one of the hormones that helps keep your skeleton strong. Lower levels over time are linked to weaker bones and a higher risk of fractures from falls that wouldn't have hurt you at 40. Muscle loss continues, and that matters for more than vanity. Muscle is what keeps you stable on your feet, what keeps your metabolism running, what keeps you independent and strong into your 70s and 80s. There's also a well-documented link between low testosterone and changes in body composition, more fat, especially around the abdomen, and that kind of fat is metabolically active in ways that can nudge blood sugar and heart health in the wrong direction. None of this is meant to scare you. It's meant to show you why acting earlier is so much easier than acting later. And if you want faster, longer-lasting results, I've put the exact natural support I recommend in the link below this video. Now here's the part I promised you, the shift that matters more than everything else, and the one most men get backwards. Most men, when they finally realize something's off, go looking for one magic thing, one pill, one shortcut, one quick fix. And they ignore the boring, unglamorous foundations that actually move the needle the most. So let me give you the foundations, because this is where your power is. The first one, and I cannot say this loudly enough, is sleep. If you do nothing else, protect your sleep like it's the most valuable thing you own, because for your hormones, it is. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. Keep the room cool and dark, get off the screens before bed, and treat a consistent bedtime as non-negotiable. Men who go from 5 hours to 7 hours of quality sleep often report feeling like a different person within weeks, and the research on sleep and testosterone backs up why. The second foundation is strength training, not endless cardio, not jogging yourself into the ground. Lifting, resistance training, picking up something heavy a few times a week, is one of the most powerful natural signals you can send your body to hold onto muscle and support healthy hormone levels. You don't need a fancy gym. Squats, presses, rows, carrying something heavy across the yard. 2 or 3 sessions a week where you actually challenge yourself can change your trajectory. The third is what you eat. Your body builds hormones from raw materials, and the big ones are healthy fats, quality protein, and key micronutrients. Things like eggs, fatty fish, olive oil, nuts. Crash dieting and cutting fat to nothing can actually backfire and lower your levels. And there are specific nutrients linked to healthy testosterone, like zinc, magnesium, and vitamin D, which a surprising number of men over 50 are low in. Getting your vitamin D checked, getting some sunlight, can genuinely support how you feel. The fourth foundation is managing stress, because there's a hormone called cortisol, your stress hormone, that works almost like a seesaw with testosterone. When chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated month after month, it can suppress your testosterone. So the walk after dinner, the 10 minutes of slow breathing, the hobby that gets you out of your own head, those aren't luxuries. They're part of your hormonal health. And the fifth one is simply carrying less fat around your midsection, because belly fat contains an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen, which means the more you carry there, the more you can accelerate the very decline you're trying to fight. The good news is the first four foundations, the sleep, the lifting, the food, the stress, naturally take care of this fifth one over time. Here's the truth I want you to walk away with. You are not powerless in this. The 1 to 2% yearly decline is the average, but averages are made up of men who do nothing and men who do something. The man who sleeps well, who lifts, who eats real food, who manages his stress, ages on a completely different curve than the man who lets the tide go out without a fight. I've watched men in their 60s with more energy, more strength, and more spark than men half their age. And it was never luck. It was the foundations, done consistently, year after year. So don't wait for the symptoms to pile up before you act. Start with one thing this week. Pick the foundation that's weakest for you right now and strengthen it, and let that build. And if you want to give your body the natural support to make this easier and see results faster, I've put exactly what I recommend in the link below this video, so go check it out after we're done here. You've got far more control over how you age than anyone ever told you. The decline is real, but so is your ability to slow it, and it's never too late to start. Take care of the body that's carried you this far, give it what it needs, and it will keep showing up for you. This is the Vitality Lab. And remember, everything I've shared today is general education to help you ask better questions and take better care of yourself. It is not medical advice, so talk with your own doctor about your health and before making any changes. Stay strong, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.